Oops, we're live. Well, hello, Facebook. Here we go. We're live. Go ahead, Landrew. Start. Facebook, we are in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I thought it'd be fun to introduce you to a couple of my friends. I introduced you to Ben Lay, who's local, yesterday.
Hey, guys.
And we had a fun time talking about why you live here and some of the cool things that are happening. And this is Pamela, a friend from New York City, and she's also here so we can do a bunch of interviews with new friends in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
So everybody, this is the internet.
Hey guys, hola from Puerto Rico.
We're here on Facebook. Landrew up there has Twitter and Instagram in his hands, and this is why I need a tool that helps me live stream everywhere from one device, because otherwise you have to have lots and lots of phones. So Ben, why don't you tell us, we're visiting, right? I'm from the West Coast, Silicon Valley, East Coast, Manhattan. Tell us, why did you move here? Like, why did you move your whole life to Puerto Rico, and what have you found in your experience being here for the last year?
Well, I always hope and dream to live in the Caribbean. It's a beautiful island, really, and the people are amazing here. I, never thought I would leave the Caribbean, but hope and dream that I will live nearby the beach one day. And the people are innovative, exciting, multi-cultures, and always fascinated by Latin American culture, really. So it's a first step for me to become a global citizen. There's tax incentives here that really help starting business and becoming entrepreneurs a bit easier.
Yeah.
With also the people surrounding you with innovations, people from San Francisco Bay like you or New York City moving here and really create the next generation of, I would say, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Global, multilingual, smart, and adventurous. So I'm here to be surrounded by those energy, and really the amazing people of Puerto Rico really help a lot.
Yeah, you've been here before.
Once.
Yeah. So what's
Many
it like?
years
What's
ago.
like? You've been in Manhattan for the last couple of years, haven't traveled a lot.
Right.
What's it like to be here in
It
a
is
completely
refreshing.
different culture?
It is so refreshing and beautiful, and the people are so kind, and just really looking forward to meeting new people and exploring.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the food was great too, right?
The food,
It was so good and fresh.
kind of food that makes you go,
Yeah.
That's avocado.
Some real avocado.
I'm from California, Santa Cruz. It's like I thought I had the best avocados, and I took a bite of theirs here, and it's like, this is what I've been missing my whole life.
Yeah, man. So I want to showcase that this is actually, we are here in the middle of Old San Juan.
Yeah.
It's the oldest city, obviously in Puerto Rico, but when you think about it, it's so dense.
When we
You're
walked in this
here.
building, it said 1521. Is this possible that this hotel was first put here in 1521? Is that possible?
Potentially, yeah, the original building.
Wow.
And if you look across the bay right there, that's where Bacardi is. So I believe three quarter of their distillery capacity
Is right
We'll
there.
have to check that
in the whole
out.
world.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are in Puerto Rico. Many global brands are here,
Yeah.
and wonderful place to live.
Right.
What is the most surprising thing to you about living here? Like, what was the most unexpected?
I was very ignorant about Puerto Rico before I came here. I have to say that. But when I came down, I learned a lot. And the thing that surprised me the most is it's not really the U.S. People think it's part of the U.S., but you drive around, you see, traffic lights and everything is in English, but the people here speak Spanish first. Obviously, we know that, but the way they think, the way they do business, the way they think about family and potentially are very different for the most part than mainland U.S.
Much more like community oriented.
Yeah,
Right?
the Puerto Rican culture are really family oriented. They don't really care more about money than actually the happiness, the quality of life. And then they want to be genuinely nice to other people because they want to be nice. And we talked about that last night. So being surrounded by that culture really makes you feel much better.
Yeah.
And you become more productive when you live here.
Yeah.
Much contrast to New York.
Huge
in
contrast.
several ways.
Yep.
It does remind me a bit of where I live in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is very unplugged from the busyness of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Kind people, really special atmosphere and environment. but it's quite different here. The last time I felt like so surprised and delighted by a geography that I visited was Stockholm, Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like I felt that way when I landed yesterday at 2 a.m. Like, wow, I'm blown away by this place. And the culture, like the people, the kindness of the people, the smiles, what I see in people's eyes, it reminds me like when I went to Philippines.
Yeah.
So it definitely, like this is now on the top of my list for places that I want to visit, places that I would consider moving to.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I have friends that are now moving here. This is why I did this trip. You know, moving one of the companies here that we work on together, because there's a ton of advantages, you know. Now, you wrote the post on the 12 rules for life regarding design.
Yes, I did.
So tell us a bit about what are your first impressions since you've been here for the last few hours on like the design, the architecture, the beauty, the color of Puerto Rico.
Well, I mean, all those things are very, they very much affect us on a personal level, like the space. So if you want to be more creative, you want to be in a place where there's more space and there's more light.
Yeah.
You're not feeling like, you know, kind of cramped and closed in. So like a place like this would be a great spot for people looking to, you know, have some quiet space and really just.
And you have
focus
everything.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, you have the urban lifestyle here in San Juan. All San Juan is a center of cultures.
Yeah.
You have salsa dancing around here. You have beautiful cuisine. You have a lot of international tourists here, so you have that kind of international flavor. If you want some quietude, you can go to Culebra, you know, which is a beautiful island, Spanish Virgin Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come back and explore. The West Coast is beautiful. There's people surfing here. There's people going up the mountains. It's really a diverse set of natures.
I saw there's a bunch of waves right behind us.
You can
here.
go kiteboarding right here in Ocean
Yeah,
Park.
I was telling you, my dad, he's like one of the world-class watermen of all time. He still dominates the waves in Pleasure Point and the Hook and all the special spots that are in Santa Cruz County.
That's right.
He now paddleboards. So he called me one morning. It's like 8:30 something in the morning, right? I'm like waking up. And he calls me, he's like, 53. Guess what that is? My dad's 67, right? Like 53. How good you feel? You feel like you're 53, Dad. Like, no. I caught 53 waves this morning, and now I'm going to work.
Wow.
53 waves.
Amazing.
By 8:30.
Yeah.
Dude, so that's
so
the thing. If you take him down here, he'll love it here.
I know, that's the thing.
You have Santa Cruz.
We'll bring a couple
Puerto Rico.
paddleboards here, and we'll just play in the ocean the whole time, and he'll just be like, "This is the new destination for life."
Yeah, that's one thing I miss, like being in New York, is these outdoor activities.
Yep.
You know, you're really just kind of trapped in the concrete jungle in New York
You
all
get
the
lost,
time.
yeah.
It's even difficult to go bike riding. You have to
Right.
leave the city or something. But here, you could just go and do all these amazing outdoor activities, which is great for the body, mind, everything. You know.
I run every morning. Every morning in the wall, right next to the water.
Yeah.
You know, when I don't have visitors, and right here, 5 minutes from the beach. And really, the cool thing about Puerto Rico is the resilience of the people here. Like Maria, don't forget, just happened in September 2017.
Right.
And it was devastated for people here.
Right.
Most people chose not to talk about it, the local people. And it's such a big shock for people. And you drove around just on the highway. You see like buildings are being dilapidated. And it took a while for the energy to come back, the water to come back. But yet people were still surviving, right? And really thriving now. So you walk down that way on the north side. That's La Perla, one of the worst places that got hit because it's right by the ocean, and it's a really poor community. And people there, we talked about martial arts before earlier in the lunch, but there's a gym down there, and people have real communities and real lives down there.
Yeah.
So there's a gym called Team La Perla, where you train and you get really strong. And there's a lot of more and more stories like that around Puerto Rico. Really, the spirit of that's good for entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah.
If you live here, San Francisco, don't get me wrong, is amazing. A lot of innovation, lots of talented, software programmers and entrepreneurs, access to capital. But here you have just grit. New York have the grit too.
New York
it's different.
Grit,
yeah. So
but
I like New York.
It's all that all the time, kind of. It's you don't have any of this kind of relaxation so much.
Yeah, it's got to be a balance between New York and San Francisco. Is Puerto Rico.
In New York, you have to go to like a yoga studio or something, right?
Yeah.
Here you can, just zen out anywhere, right?
Yeah. Is yoga here
You're
too?
two of the happiest people that I spend time with. Like, your laugh is contagious. You're always laughing.
Oh, thanks, man.
And every time I hear your laugh in the other room, I'm like, oh yes, I'm around Mr. Joy. This is the best. Love being with
Love
Ben.
you too.
Love having you host us.
Thank you.
And you're always smiling and
I am.
bright and radiant. And so, what is it that has allowed the two of you, maybe you could like share first, to embody like happiness and joy and optimism and like share that with the world?
I've always been kind of on the optimistic side.
Yeah.
I'll say I'm fortunate in that way. And so I'm always trying to do things that inspire me and keep me, and to be creative. So, and keeping my body, I think it's very much staying active and being in motion and keeping that active lifestyle and incorporating, new ideas and creativity, and that keeps you like going and staying positive. I could never just kind of sit around and,
Yeah. Me too.
not do those things. So.
Me too.
How about you? What do you do? And has this place helped bring a more whimsical, lighthearted element out of your life, or have you always been this way, always laughing, always hugging, always affectionate, always?
I have not always been like this. I have
Okay.
to be honest with you. I spent a lot of time was being, just like everyone else, just growing up and learning to be just happy. And I was a lot of times I was depressed, I was angry, I was like everyone else.
Like everyone, yeah.
Like
yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
But I slowly learned to just establish a routine every day, right?
Yeah.
At least wake up every day and you have your base. You do your routine, whatever you make you happy, make you joy, and you go conquer the day. Even if it's a shitty day, tomorrow you wake up, you're going to have that base again. So
Right.
Yeah.
you set that base. And Puerto Rico has been really a big gift for me. Before Puerto Rico, I was in San Francisco Bay. We connected there first.
Yeah.
And it really a big shift for me to be here. And people say work-life balance, but I really, to be honest with you, I didn't work half as hard here, but I felt like my work has been more productive here. And when I really focus on building my company for the last few months, when I really just put 100% drive in, I felt it just 10x because of the surrounding. My surrounding, like just people around the world come here to Puerto Rico to explore the city. So, you say I was a good host. You're a great guest as well. I enjoy having you both in my home.
Thank you.
I learned a lot from you guys. We talked a lot about building companies, how to start the next podcast, things like that. And I imagine I have this pretty much once or twice or 3 times a month.
Special.
It's special and
Very
really
special.
helps elevate my thinking.
Yeah.
Being close to nature, being ample opportunities to go hiking, go to the beach if I need to really relax. And I work all the time
Yeah.
here in Puerto Rico, even if I'm not in the office.
Right.
And we all like that, right? But you
No.
have time to no.
I've never worked a day in my life.
I needed that break. So after 10 years
I
in
don't know what it's
corporate,
like to work. I just have fun. I play all the time.
I wish that too, man. I play but you asked me, if Puerto Rico changed me. Yeah, it did tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got to join us, all you lovely internet people. And we're going to be back with lots of videos the next couple of days. We're getting ready to go see JLD with EOF.
JLD, Entrepreneurs on Fire. He's right here in Dorado,
We're going to go
Puerto
see
Rico.
John in about an hour. And we may or may not go live, but he has an incredible podcast I encourage you to check out, which is Entrepreneurs on Fire. He's actually a attractor to people coming to Puerto Rico just to be interviewed by him for his podcast. And you've met him before, and the two of you are friends. It'll be my first time meeting the great JLD, John Lee Dumas, I think is maybe how you say his last name.
JLD, John Lee Dumas.
So also tomorrow morning we're going to spend time with Brock Pierce, which will be fun. He's the one that really was telling me, like, you're crazy for not coming to Puerto Rico. You need to move your company to Puerto Rico. You need to move yourself, your people to Puerto Rico. This is the place to be. And he was so charismatic. I'm like, I'll follow you anywhere, Brock. Okay, I'll come to Puerto Rico. Okay. So we'll see Brock
Here you
tomorrow.
are.
We'll see Brock. Yeah, Brock is the big magnet for me. and then we'll do another dozen or so interviews. The president-elect for the Chamber of Commerce, he's bringing a bunch of investors. I'm bringing a ton of different investors to come interview with us. Obviously some startup people, maybe some government officials, and just kind of let the world know about Puerto Rico from my perspective of like, what am I experiencing here? Because of course I am moving at least one of the companies I'm involved with here. Part of my team, maybe a lot of my team, I might end up here at some point if
Can we segue to what you do? Like 20-second segue, 20-second segue, what you do.
So why don't you
start with the lady first?
So
I'm a freelance graphic designer.
Okay.
And I do a little bit of writing, and I do freelance photography as well. I spent many years working in corporate organizations on Wall Street. And then I kind of broke free of that.
Cool.
And, just
Congrats.
trying to connect with really great people and do amazing things.
Nice. So Ben Lei here, CEO, founder of Mira Mira. Before I moved to Puerto Rico, I was an early stage equity investor in San Francisco Bay, also advisor to several companies. Serial entrepreneur, I was in real estate my whole life, pretty much. Private equity, also kind of the corporate experience, learning also consultancy, and then venture out on my own, end of 2017. Now I'm starting a company, hopefully, will be a group of companies, Mira Mira brand. We're thinking about different product types from skincare to hair products, but also our immediate technology product is an app, a technology that allows people to connect in person between brands, influencers, and the fans, so that we can help brands get the message much more well received by the fans and help the influencers make more money.
Yeah, I really love the idea of Mira Mira. It's exciting to be involved and, be able to navigate some of the cool things that you're working on and doing. So yeah, and I think it's going to be really special for you to have more of a voice and do more things like this.
Yeah, that would be
that was a big reason why you came here, was so that we could do some interviews together and talk about like what would it look like for us to create some content together, right? Do some vlogging, do some podcasting.
Yeah, that would be great.
So me, I just basically live to create work for Landry Woolworth. It's kind of like my purpose in life is I just want to keep Landry Woolworth busy. And so if I had to define myself by one thing, I'd probably say I'm God's friend. 2, I'm Malachi and Kenton's daddy. But 3, I am simply a machine that creates things for Landry Woolworth to stay busy doing.
Nice.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for giving me purpose in life.
You should turn that video camera around and face you. He's too shy.
He needs more work. I can find him.
Yeah. You can't keep him busy. He's the guy that I create 60 hours of work to do. Okay, if I give him this, he won't ask me any questions for a week. 3 hours later, he's like, all right, I'm done. What now?
I need to find myself a Landry. Seriously.
Yeah, he's great.
He's the best.
Mira needs
He's
a
the best. He is an army. He's an army embodied in one. He doesn't need to be cloned. He literally will never, ever stay busy. He's the opposite of me. Every day I work, I create another 100 hours of work for me to do. My life fantasy is to pause time for 20,000 hours and catch up on my inboxes.
Amazing.
All right, we're out of here.
Awesome.
It was fun to have you join us.
Before we're out of here, we're going to swing her.
Oh, yes, let's swing.
This is a swing show. Welcome to Puerto Rico.
Yes, welcome to Puerto Rico. We'll see you soon.